How to maintain a no shoes indoors house in a Western country. Yeah, we have a basket of slippers. You can get cheap ones from IKEA or online in bulk. Look at spa slippers. And a bag of plastic shoe covers by the door. You just say, sorry. We don't do shoes in the house. We have fresh slippers if you'd like, or shoe covers if you really don't want to remove them. Thanks for understanding. I'm in Canada, and it's customary to take shoes off when you come into someone's home. You could supply a basket of slippers by the door? As an aside, it is so weird to me that folks in some countries tend to keep their shoes on in homes. What if it's raining? Do you take your shoes off then? What if people have carpets? How do you keep them clean? Yes, I know there are mops and vacuum cleaners in the world. But having folks remove their shoes at the door means you didn't have to clean your floors every time someone comes over. Am I missing something? It's your home? If so, if you say it's no shoes, which where I am from is 100% normal UK and Denmark, then it's no shoes. People respect that or they don't come in. I asked guests to take their shoes off. He said I can't enforce that because not everyone is comfortable taking their shoes off, or they don't want to because of smells, etc. If you insist, that's the end of it. They either cooperate or leave. Not everyone needs to be comfortable in my home. As a Westerner, I personally wear my shoes on in my house. But when I enter someone else's, I always ask, shoes on or off? Quote, live somewhere snowy. We take our shoes off in Canada. Nobody wants the snow tracked through the house. I've heard Alaska, Montana, Minnesota, and other snowy states are similar. There's often some leeway come summer. But a habit's a habit, and parents make sure only one becomes habit. Have slippers or house shoes in various sizes ready for guests. That definitely helps if they're used to keeping shoes on. And always use the excuse, I've just finished mopping. Please use the slippers I've provided. Thank you for your cooperation. Living in Canada, everyone takes off their shoes in the house. You may have indoor shoes or sandals to wear, but nobody just comes in with shoes from outside. In the winter there's salt and sand and snow. And it's disgusting wearing shoes you wore in a store or outside in your house. We have a no-shoe house, and I know a lot of people that do. I honestly don't think it is as uncommon as people make it out to be. Let people know ahead of time. Have a place for people to put their shoes, and offer socks or slippers for your guests. Shoe booties as a last resort. Kinda crazy to me that anyone would think you could not enforce it. It is your house. They take them off or they leave. I live in Canada, and in every single house I've been in, no shoes is a given. To leave your shoes on is considered extremely rude. This could be a factor of us having winter and muddy shoes being an absolute nightmare. But still, what if it's raining out? I legitimately can't wrap my head around this phenomenon. It just seems super lazy, super rude, and super dirty. I would personally just not let them in unless they take their shoes off. Or keep them confined to the mudroom if they absolutely need to be wearing shoes. They'll eventually get it. I'm from a country where it is customary to have slippers available. So I ask people to just take off their shoes. And if they prefer to have something on their feet, my parents, I have a slipper stash that I get for them. I thought it was the norm to take your shoes off in a guest's house? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Maybe just buy everyone cool, weird slippers. Who can say no to Dino slippers? My wife is Vietnamese, as are the 3 other adults who live in our house. We all live in California. None of us wear shoes in the house. Even my 2-year-old grandson knows he has to take off his shoes at the door. Vietnamese family and friends don't have to be asked to remove their shoes before coming into our house. It's customary in virtually every Vietnamese household, and they're used to it. We do usually ask non-Vietnamese family and friends to remove their shoes before coming in, and nobody has ever refused. After they've been to our house once, then they know we expect it, so they won't come over wearing dirty socks or socks with holes in them. There was one occasion when an older friend of mine came to our house and didn't know in advance that he'd be asked to remove his shoes. He said his socks probably had holes in them, and his feet probably smelled bad. I offered some options. He could keep his socks on and I'd give him some slippers to put over them. He could remove his socks and I could give him some flip-flops. I could give him a pair of clean socks. Or he could even rinse his feet if he really felt self-conscious about it. Otherwise, I said, if it doesn't bother him, then it won't bother us. He just chuckled, kicked off his shoes, took a quick whiff, and said, I guess they aren't that bad. And he came inside. We do make an exception for people who need to come into our house, but aren't necessarily guests. Like someone who comes to service an appliance. We ask them to wipe their shoes on the doormat, but we don't ask them to remove their shoes. First of all, under your roof you can enforce any rules you want. Nobody can tell you how to manage your household unless they are providing financial assistance. If nobody wants to take their shoes off, then step. In Germany everyone does it. I live in Belgium, and many people don't do it here. I guess it depends per region, but you can definitely enforce it. No one wears shoes in our place. It is gross. We have slippers for visitors, but they rarely need it as everyone that visits us already knows not to wear shoes in our place. If you anticipate guests who are elderly or who gave a disability, provide a chair near the door so they can sit to remove their shoes. Shoe covers are also useful for those who need supportive or orthopedic footwear to stay balanced and/or pain-free. From a construction point of view, you need a mudroom, a separate area with different flooring to show people that this is where the outside ends and the inside begins. Inside there needs to be shoe storage, coat racks, etc. Emo. I don't know about any Western countries where shoes are worn inside except USA. No shoes is the norm everywhere.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.